Welcome, everybody, to the PHDJ podcast. My name is Mike.
What's up? It's Joe.
How are you today, Joe?
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Always a damn
Things good?
pleasure.
I'm going to miss you next week. I was hoping you were coming to Marquee.
You know what, man? I'm going to a different conference that
I think I saw that. Yeah. Where
Beyond
are you going?
the Music Retreat in Arizona.
That sounds trippy.
Yeah. Beyond.
What's going on? Is it a DJ thing or
It is a DJ thing. I
really?
think it's definitely a little more clubby.
Okay. Beyond the music. Wow.
Beyond the music. Yeah, check
All
it out. But Spinelli's going, Jani's going, Nate Nelson will be out there, and then he's coming from there to Marquee. So
I was going to say, I thought Nate was coming to Marquee. Wow, okay.
He's going to pull both off. I don't know how.
Also, we have our topic for 2 weeks from now as we recap Marquee and Beyond Music. That'll be very cool. Very cool.
Yes, look at us pre-planning.
I know, right? And next week we should save this teaser to the end. But next week we are interviewing a DJ from London, from England.
Yes,
by the name of Dan, and we're going to be talking to him about kind of their format and timeline and things like that over in London. Which I like. I think we should continue doing shows like this, different people throughout the country and also the world. I think it's interesting to hear. I think I mentioned on this podcast, Kelly has a dear friend in Ireland, and her daughter is getting married in 2 years, and we are going to be guests. So I'm super excited just to experience an Irish wedding. Super excited about it.
Super cool. Yeah. That'll be a blast. Have you ever been? You've been over there, right?
I have been once. Kelly's been a couple of times. Yeah. I've only been once, but I would love to get back. It's beautiful, beautiful country.
I need to get over there for sure.
Yeah,
man.
It's awesome. So today's topic is actually inspired by Marquee. There is a 80s party on Tuesday night next week, and I have been asked to spin a set. So in
costume, in
costume,
gear.
And I love 80s music. It's my decade.
You do.
So I've already been, spending every free minute that I have.
Which isn't much.
Yeah, which isn't much, but putting a set together and collating a set and trying to figure out how many songs I can squeeze into 45 minutes. But it got me thinking it would be a good topic. And this isn't just about Marquee, because if you think about it.
Yeah.
Our goal is always to take people back to their high school years or thereabouts. Well, the parents of your couples nowadays at weddings are pretty much my age. I mean, I'm 56, so if I had a kid at 28, which is reasonable, that kid would be 28 nowadays, and more than likely in marrying years. So I would say most of your guests most of your parents of your bride and groom are within a couple of years of me nowadays at most of your weddings. So you not only want to please the bride and groom and their friends, but you want to try to please the parents. And you can do that nowadays by dipping deep into your 80s music. So it's a decade you play often, I'm assuming, Joe?
As I was looking through the list, I mean, I'm so bad, Mike, at knowing like when a song came out. I mean, I know generally, but not, spot on. But
I mean, listen, I don't think you have to be exact with something like this. Like I'm looking at my 80s songs in my party playlist, and I've got "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure that was released in '79, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's an 80s song. So I'm not going to get, I mean, if you gave me like Hound Dog, I'd be like, no, that's a little off, Joe. But
Speaking of, I don't think I've ever been more excited about a movie. I heard that this Elvis movie that's coming out at the end of
oh my God. Yeah. When does it come out?
20-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Music Festival.
Wow.
Or the movie festival. Yeah. 20 minutes. The 24th of this month.
Of June. Kelly's mom is a huge Elvis fan, so we've already got like plans, not a date yet, but plans to take her. And that's the guy, I can never pronounce his name, Baz Luhrmann, right? Baz
Luhrmann is
who has done some he did Great Gatsby and a few others, really
his stuff
high energy.
The way it's shot is just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, it's supposed to be incredible.
So Moulin Rouge, he also did.
Yes, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. So go ahead, give me some of your favorite, and we don't have to be down the road here. I mean, I want to be, I want to dance with somebody. Don't Stop Believing. Those are pretty no brainers. But do you have some songs that the listener might go, oh wow, did I just knock off your two that you were going to give me? Do you have any songs that the listener might go, wow, I didn't see that coming?
There's nothing on here.
All right, well, give me your middle of the roads then.
I'm known to pour some sugar on me. usually cutting out the majority and getting to the meat of it.
Yeah, because unedited, that song's about 5.5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
So
it's too much,
Yeah.
way too much. And it's not like a remix or anything. It may have some sort of a redrum or a Chartbusters version. I do love still Come On Eileen. It's kind of hard to mix though, because I think the tempo changes somewhere in there.
That's actually what I like about that song. I
Yeah.
think it's a DMX version, I'm sorry, DMS.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
That basically takes it from a 110 to a 120, and I
Okay,
can
maybe
predict
that's the
that.
version.
Yeah, so I know that going into it, that's a good 10 BPM
Yeah.
jump for me without using three songs to
tweaking
get
it
there.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to throw a couple out, or you want me to just keep going?
So Jesse's Girl is probably a no-brainer, I would assume, but that one works very well for me. And if that goes over, then I usually follow it up with Your Love by The Outfield. That's one of those songs that you don't play the whole thing because there's a novelty to Josie's on a vacation, but it wears off. So that I'm a verse chorus out on that song. But yeah, you drop that with the right 80s crowd and The Outfield, which I'm pretty sure they're a one-hit wonder. I can't think of anything else they've done.
I said that too, and somebody tried to correct me. They had like one other marginal. I can't remember.
If you can't remember it, then they're
and
a
then
one-hit
it's one
wonder.
hit.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I also often try to think of like the big stars of the 80s. What is not their no-brainer, but other songs that you can play by them?
Okay.
For example, everybody knows I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney.
Sure.
So that's like your go-to Whitney song. How Will I Know? I think that's from the same album. Is in my opinion as good of a song. It's not as well known, but I'll reach for that sometimes instead of I Want to Dance.
I have like a Digital Dave edit of that. I can't remember why it's different. It might start with the chorus or something like that, but I definitely have been pulling that a lot more recently as well.
And it's the same thing with my favorite artist. To me, 1999 and Kiss are his two most accessible, and especially at an event. Maybe not amongst Prince fans, but those are probably his best danceable songs. But I'll break out "Baby I'm a Star" sometimes.
Wow.
Clocks in at 138. So if you're up there with the Moni Moni's, Love Shack, kind of high 130s, which was a popular BPM in the 80s, that can work for you. And P.S. that will also transition you to another decade. A lot of that pop punk or whatever we're calling it 2 decades later is in that 140 to 150 range. So I've
or
often
even
used,
like 2010s like Happy or Shake It Off.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the same thing in that BPM range, Summer of '69 is a big one for me by Bryan Adams.
It's been a minute since I spun that. I had that on this short list, but then I took it off. And I did do what you said I would do, which is I had Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I literally just looked it up to make sure, but you were right. It's 79, so it's right on the cusp.
Yeah, but again, if you played Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and you said, we're taking everybody back to the 80s with a little Michael Jackson, if anybody at that party walked up to you and corrected you, I would give him a $10 bill and go, you are a smart person.
Yes,
Good for you. Or you just Googled it,
Yeah, you beat it by 6 months.
Yeah, again,
well,
I'm
let
not
me ask
sweating
you this,
that.
Mike. If somebody said, I'm going to take your hard drive, I'm going to delete either Billie Jean or Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, which one would you let them delete? So you can only...
Well, knowing that I could re-download it in a minute.
No, you can't re-download.
You can take Billie Jean. You can take Billie Jean. I think Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is his best. When I just see play Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough is the one I usually go to.
Man, I go back and forth. It's almost like I change.
It's an energy thing for me. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough has more energy. Billie Jean is more funky and groovy. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But I'll tell you this. Do you have a favorite Michael Jackson song? Your personal.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I love Michael Jackson. I really do.
My personal, and I will work this in sometimes if I've got a real good 80s crowd, is Want to Be Starting Something. The breakdown on that, Mama Say, Mama Sama, Makusta, is just one of the great breakdowns in all of music. And I have a personal memory of dancing to that song in a club when I was, I don't know, 17 years old. And, you know those memories of like dancing as a youngster where you just feel like the whole world is in front of you and the future is wide open, and just partying to that song and hearing that break, and then the horns start coming in on the end of that break. It's tremendous. Yeah.
Dude, it really is. It's a long song, though.
It is. But again, as I talked about in my seminar last year about programming, if you use jump points, you can skip. I mean, Love Shack is another great example. Love Shack clocks in about 5 minutes, and you don't want to pull out of that song because you have to play the Tin Roof. Rusty. Yeah. You have to play that, or people will literally yell at you. But you can use a jump point to get to that part in about 2 minutes.
True.
So that's one of the reasons why I prefer to use jump points as opposed to edits, because if I drop Love Shack and it is the song of the night, then I don't want to. I'll play all 5 minutes of it.
Interesting.
But more than likely, I'm not going to. But if I make a 2 minute edit, or I use a 2 minute edit, and then the song blows up, now I'm stuck. Unless I want to loop backwards, there's no point. So most of the songs I'm using the full length song when I drop it, but I use a jump point to shorten it if I choose to.
Yeah, I got to get better at that.
It's just a matter of doing your homework, dude. You just got to put in the time. Yeah. Hey there. Sorry to interrupt this awesome podcast, but I wanted to read a review for you that I received recently. Let me see if I can find it. I get so many. Oh, here it is. Mike and his crew went so far above and beyond what my wife and I ever could have imagined for our wedding. The whole process from start to finish was professional, engaging, and fun. And then this client writes, the event planner is awesome and allows you so much time and flexibility in planning your event. That's the type of feedback we get all the time. A, how awesome we are. B, how helpful and cool our online planner is. And while it looks like we have this super cool online planner, it's just DJ Event Planner branded for us. So if you're not using DJ Event Planner, besides missing out on the most powerful CRM sales tools available to our industry, you are missing out on this type of feedback from your clients. Let the great planning tools available from DJ EP blow them away before their event, then you blow them away at the event. That's a winning formula. Head to djeventplanner.com right now and start your free 30-day trial. Go ahead, Joe and I will wait for you. How about Madonna? Madonna is one of the obviously the big pop stars of the decade.
Yeah.
If you have a Madonna request, is there a go-to that you use?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna go to Like a Prayer, but I'm gonna skip to some part where it's got energy. Or, man, I'm 50-50 on this, Mike, because Holiday is kind of my jam.
I've never understood why Holiday isn't as famous as Celebration.
Right.
It is same theme, same concept. It's a song about celebrating.
Sure.
And to me, it's as danceable and as great of a dance song. I love that one. I use a remix of Like a Prayer, so it's a little bit more. It's punched up a little bit more.
Okay, you're sending me that, right? Go ahead.
And again, a personal favorite of mine, but it was a big hit of hers, is Into the Groove. Get into the groove.
I love that
so
song.
that's in my 80s set without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got multiple, going back to Whitney, I've got multiple versions of I Want to Dance with Somebody. One of my DJs down in Charleston made this edit that it's almost like more, I'll send it to you, but it's almost like more like just kind of very, almost like finger snaps at the beginning. And then I guess somehow he got the acapella and it just goes right into, I want to, or he goes, snap, snap, snap. And then one of those like 808, boom.
Right.
And then, I want to dance with somebody. Like it starts with the chorus.
I've never found a remix of that song that I prefer more than the original. I still use the original.
I had not either, but I think this is it. I'm gonna send it to you. I want your input.
I'm interested in hearing it, but like I said, I love on the original. I think it's a 16 intro, and then it goes right into that great scream of hers, and it just that song still works for me in its original format.
It goes.
What about Fight for Your Right? It's funny because I just saw you share that video that we made or that you made 2 years ago. Do you use that ever?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, man. I the only hip hop, the only hip hop song I had on this little short list of 8 or 10 songs here was Ice Ice Baby. I guess that's considered hip hop.
I think that's also techno. And again, I don't want to get in the weeds, but I'm pretty sure that's 90s. I think of Ice Ice Baby
it's 89.
as a 90s
Hold
song.
on. Randy, help me out with this. Hold on.
You don't have to sell your boy out. And again, we're only tweaking over
God
6
dang
months.
it. You're right.
Yeah, but to me, again, it's not even when it was released. To me, I think of that. And Can't Touch This as the birth of 90s hip hop, or the party version of 90s hip hop. Anyway, those two songs basically put hip hop in the pop category for the first time.
Can I retract that and go with Run DMC? It's Tricky then?
Yeah. It's Tricky is one of my favorites.
Okay.
And again, speaking of transition mixes, I have a transition mix of It's Tricky that I use all the time. If any of our listeners listen to my sets that I post regularly, you probably have heard the It's Tricky.
It goes faster or slower?
It starts slow. It starts in the hip hop with like hundreds, and then it picks right up to that because it's a 128.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what I love about Fight for Your Right to Party. It's a 130 I think, or something like that. So it is a hip hop song, but it's also not in the hip hop BPM range, if you will. I'll throw a couple more out that I use. Footloose is probably a no-brainer. I'm sure nobody listening to this wouldn't think of that. Todd Rundgren's Bang on a Drum. Wow. I don't want to work. It's up there with BPMs. Again, I have it clocked at a 146, and works really well for me sometimes. One of the ones that I'm probably going to try to sneak in, Bowie, most people think of Bowie as a 70s artist, but he had a huge pop revival, if you will, in the 80s with his album Let's Dance, and Modern Love, which is way up there in BPMs.
I love that song.
Is yeah, exactly. I think I have that clocked at a 180. That is a great dance song and very recognizable.
Great song.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And Let's Dance is a great song as well.
Oh, Let's Dance is, no doubt. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I had Your Love, the outfit on there. As a TikTok newbie, Mike, you don't know it, but somehow that got picked up. So now.
Oh, Your Love? Is that right?
And it was huge about 3 weeks ago. So somehow now the kids are going to know it.
Isn't it funny how ephemeral TikTok is? You just said 3 weeks ago, which means it's probably
it's probably
memory.
dead by now. Yeah.
By the way, 237,000 on that video.
Oh, on the video,
so
$250,000.
It's starting to trickle out. So I don't know if we'll hit a 250,000, but 237. Yeah,
God damn, that's a great one.
I'll throw a few last ones out before we move on to the second topic of this. I've been dropping the Conga by Gloria Stefan.
Wow.
And again, quick in and out. And I don't even say, it's funny because I think for years I had it in my head that had to be a conga line song.
Sure.
But it's a very recognizable, upbeat, fun, Latin-esque kind of dance song, and it works very.
So you'll just let it play and not encourage.
Not encourage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if a conga line starts, I'm not going to break it up. But I'm not saying, all right, everybody hop on behind our bride. It's time to do a conga line.
Okay.
And then this one's a little bit more obscure. I've talked about this at seminars, so some people might predict that I'm about to say this, but Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time. My girl wants to party all the time. It is such a great
Rick James song, right?
Yeah, Rick James produced that for him, I believe. So yeah, that's one of those. If you've got a good hardcore, the '80s group that loves their '80s, you break that out on them, and you'll get a great reaction.
So you didn't? I see you. I haven't, or I didn't mention, or maybe you did. Living on a Prayer or Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, again, to me, those are just no-brainer. 80s songs that are kind of almost cliche, especially Living on a Prayer. For me in Jersey, it's almost a rite of passage to have that played at your party. And I think I've mentioned it. We have plenty of banquet halls that are literally across the river from Bon Jovi's place. And so when I drop that, I'll often say, all right, folks, Bon Jovi lives right over there. If we sing this loud enough, maybe he can hear us. You know what I mean? And it's just a thing to say during those songs, In
1985, Party All the Time, written and produced by Rick James, recorded at James's home studio in Buffalo, New York. And then it says, according to Murphy, the song came from a $100,000 bet he made with fellow comedian Richard Pryor about whether he could actually sing or not.
Oh, I didn't know that part. That's cool.
I knew you'd like that.
That's gonna make the version 2 of my book. I like that.
Part 2 of the book.
There you go.
Steal for tickets.
Yes.
As DJs, there's one thing we need to know about, and that's music. Learning shouldn't be a chore since it's a passion we all share. I've got a great way for you to educate yourself about music, and that's my man Mike Walter's new book, On This Date in Music. It's over 600 pages long, and this book offers you a new and interesting essay every single day of the year about music. Mike's writing style is fun and casual, and the book is chock full of interesting trivia and cool stories about the music we play each and every weekend. Pick up your autographed copy, sweet, or the audio version on thisdateinmusic.com.
So those are some good 80s things.
Didn't we have a little side topic?
Yeah, so you sent this to me. It was a DJ
right?
Vault. Well, it was a DJ Vault post.
Oh, okay.
Question for wedding DJs. I'm curious to know your thoughts. What exactly makes a boutique DJ boutique? Question mark. Is there a general standard to be able to be labeled boutique, or is it up to each DJ's interpretation? Can any DJ simply slap the word boutique on their marketing? Is it about high price, the equipment, the look of the setup, etc.? So, why don't we end this week with that? What do you think of, Joe, and what do you think of DJs calling themselves boutique?
I don't use that verbiage in any of our marketing, maybe because... And I saw some of the comments, but then I kind of jumped off the thread, and I think a lot of people were saying the word boutique meant small, and that's how I've interpreted it based on wedding shows. So for us, we don't do any of the big shows anymore, the fairgrounds,
Correct.
Thousands of brides, 300-400 vendors. Like, we do the boutique wedding shows. At this venue down the street, 100 brides are going to come through. We're the only DJ there. So that's the only time I ever really use the word boutique wedding shows, right? We don't call ourselves a boutique DJ company. I mean, I think that's the term boutique kind of does mean small. I don't think it necessarily means you only have one DJ. I think it may mean, I don't know that it means Mike Walter or Joe Bunn. Do you, Mike? I mean,
no, I don't. And it's not just what you think. That is the definition of the word.
Okay.
A business or establishment that is small and sophisticated or fashionable. So it's literally in the world.
We're sophisticated and fashionable,
right? But we're not small.
Mike has
jackets. If I called Elite Entertainment, thank you very much. Yes. If I called Elite Entertainment boutique, it's the exact antithesis, in fact. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. Antithesis,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, there you go. I think the problem with the word boutique is it's like so many marketing words, it is overused
there we go.
All the time. I'll never forget a number of years ago. Do you know what the word Epicurean means? It's like it's a fancy word for really good food.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I saw the word Epicurean in an ad for Papa John's Pizza. And I was like, well, yeah, because there's no real standard for Epicurean. You can call yourself. So if Papa John's wants to call themselves Epicurean, but we all know it's not. I mean, what's really Epicurean is the pizza place down the street that's selling their pies for $38 because they've got high class ingredients and everything's fresh and everything else. So, and that's the problem with marketing words like that is there's no. They get overused, and I think the consumer just hears them. It's like award-winning. I'm sure the first person that put award-winning in an ad, people were like, we got to go with them because they've won awards. But now the consumer hears award-winning, and it's just blah, 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 award-winning.
Yes.
So I don't think boutique means... It's been overused. That's my point.
Sure.
And I think you're better off letting your customers call you boutique rather than you
Call yourself.
say it about yourself.
Interesting.
If a past client puts it in a review, that's a huge compliment. We went with this service because we thought they were boutique, and that's the level of service we got. We're so happy we went with this boutique service. But you calling yourself boutique service, I think, means nothing nowadays. That's just my
agree. But I do think, I do think what the post, the original poster was saying is true. I mean, I think it does. If you're going to use that, have the good looking setup, have the great customer service, have the amazing, I don't think you can throw out a PDF to every client that looks the exact same like we do, for the pricing. I think it has to be quoted out,
Right.
line itemed out. Oh, you want this special thing, and this special thing. Like, if you're going to use it, act upon it.
Yeah, I mean, when I hear the term, or at least when I heard the term years ago, the first thing that I thought of was my friend Marcello. He has a true boutique service. He purposefully does very few events a year, very high end. He gets top dollar for his service. He provides incredible customer service, a great party, everything else. He purposefully keeps his company small for that reason. That's why if I called myself boutique, I'd be lying to you. I'd be lying to the consumer. I'd be lying to myself. I'm not a boutique service. Doesn't mean I don't think that we provide high-end service and everything else, but
we do.
But there are, exactly. That's just not who we are.
That's a great example.
Yeah. So, and I don't know that Marcello's ever used that term in marketing, but I'm sure other people have said that about him.
Absolutely. That's a great example. If you don't know this guy, Marcello Pedalino, one of Mike's good friends, one of my friends, definitely look him up. He's awesome.
His company is MMP Productions, so if you wanted to Google him and look him up.
And of course, where is he, Mike?
He's in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where all the good DJs are.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but hey, listen, you know what's great about living in a state where there's a lot of great talent? It keeps you from getting lazy. It keeps you from getting soft around the edges.
Foot on the gas.
If I don't wake up every morning going, I got to work my ass off to stay up with and ahead of the competition. Jason Janai's office is a couple miles down the road, and I love that SCE provides phenomenal service. So does Elite Entertainment, and I think having the two recommended at the same facilities and competing with the same mostly clientele keeps them sharp. It keeps us sharp. I would rather have great competition than no competition.
Same. Great point, man. Great ending for this show.
I like
Mike,
it.
You get any
Stick
other
the
last
landing.
words?
No, that's it.
The landing.
You have a great week next week at what? Beyond Music?
Man. Beyond the Music.
Beyond the Music.
Retreat.
And I'm looking forward to Marquee next week. Hope to see a lot of listeners there.
You will.
I have a part of my seminar where I'm going to ask how many listeners are in the room. So I hope to see a lot of hands up, and I will relay that information to Joe. And you asked the same thing, Joe. I'd be interested in the club world if anyone is aware of our our podcast.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
And listen, everybody. So the teaser for next week is we have a special guest coming on from England, Dan, our friend Dan. I don't think I've ever met him in the real world. Have you, Mike? Does his name ring?
I'm not sure, but I always hate saying no because then, I was with you at that dinner. We sat next to each other for 3 hours. I'm like, oh, sorry.
And
so
don't forget,
I'm not
guys,
positive if I have or not.
Right.
So
also, Mike is global. Mike has spoken in England, which I can't.
That is correct. That was great. I'd love to get back there again. Hint, hint,
folks. So anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening, everybody. And keep listening.
Ciao.
Appreciate you.